What's good, party people? What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is time for the Snug Wrestling Podcast. Not our usual recording time, but for some of us, well, actually, you might be wondering why are we going to be reviewing Friday Night SmackDown right now if it hasn't happened yet? Well, it has happened if you have a VPN here in the United States, and we're going to be going over it now before it actually airs here in America in American time. So if you haven't seen the show, then prepare for some spoilers. If you've already seen it, prepare for the review. And man, it was one hell of a show. They were in Lyon, France. I don't know how they say it, but it was one hell of
Leon.
a crowd. Lyon, thank you. One hell of a crowd. It was energetic. It was crazy. I'm still feeling the energy from the show, and I'm pumped for this review. And I hope you guys are too. What up, Snug Crew? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's everything?
Pretty good, man. I'm honestly excited for Clash in Paris. The 3 p.m. broadcast time for Sunday is annoying, so I'll be watching it after that because I will be out and about all that day. But I'm excited for the review. I'm excited to see what surprises we get at the show. Hell, we got some surprises tonight here on SmackDown, especially with the main event, which we will get into. But as far as go home shows go, this was a bit more of one of their consistent ones. I wouldn't say there's crazy anything to write home about, but this is kind of what's now to be expected of a WWE go home show as of the last year or so.
Mm-hmm. Tommy, any overall thoughts before we get started?
Like SmackDown was pretty decent, but then again, the crowds really carried it because overseas crowds are fucking phenomenal. So
Yeah, and this is the SmackDown before Clash in Paris. We're a couple days away from Clash in Paris. And I thought it was a pretty good way to, hype us up for the show this weekend, the go home show. Because we started off with Logan Paul and John Cena. Man, again, this crowd in Europe, they were just off the rails. And Logan Paul, he came out first, and I didn't know Logan Paul speak French the way that he did. He cut a promo in English, part in French, and some of the stuff he said was freaking awesome. Like Logan Paul, man, love him or hate him, he's great on the mic. He's like the perfect fit for WWE. I just feel like he just fits right in. Um, he put all um the reward on himself, like, hey, it's because of me that the WWE has been able to go to Netflix and ESPN. $5 billion bill, $1.6 billion deal, altogether $6.6 billion of WWE has been able to make, all because of me. And I thought that was great, man. But then when John Cena came out, man, when John Cena came out, that fucking place exploded, dude. It was fucking crazy. The last time that John Cena is going to be in France, as a WWE superstar, and John Cena had another one hell of a promo. He said a lot of crazy stuff here. You know, from shit like Logan Paul, you used to be an influencer. You're not even in the top 25 list of biggest influencers in the whole entire world. Um, it was a great opening segment for SmackDown, and the kid. You guys remember the kid from fucking what was it, Belgium, Brussels, or whatever? That kid came back. He was in the front row by the ramp. John Cena went over to that kid and apologized to him and was like, "Hey, I was having a bad day, but thank you guys. Thank you for being here for me." And it was a nice callback to when John Cena was doing his heel things to now John Cena is, back to his normal self. And of course, the kid was really happy and accepted John Cena's apology. But man, this opening segment was on fire, I thought.
Yeah, I said it last week. I'm going to say it again here. This is some of the best mic work from Logan Paul in the entirety of his WWE tenure. John Cena, again, you already expect John Cena to come out there and cut a fucking 5-star promo like it's nothing, like it's a cakewalk for him, because the man is just always off the dome. Sorry, somehow my phone rang even though it was on silent. But you expect John Cena to come out there and obviously cut a 5-star promo. I mean, everything he says is off the top of the dome, right? I love that he gave the kid the old "it wasn't you, it's me" speech. But it's, imagine that kid, that memory, right? Getting dumped by John Cena earlier this spring, and then having John Cena come back and make up with you in the same year. And both are televised historical events. That kid is never going to forget this. Okay. Mm-hmm. That he has made that kid's year. You know what I'm saying? But I loved that with this promo, with everything that's, say what you will, whether this match is a waste of John Cena's time or not, right? It is absolutely on the ball for character work. Okay. The way these two dig in with each other, I think Logan Paul, like you said, is 100% a perfect match for WWE. Stuff like this, last week's promo and this week's have proven both times, the man in his core is a fucking entertainer. And he fits the bill with sports entertainment. Athletics be damned, which he's got that in spades, but the entertainment side, this kid knows exactly what the hell he's doing. And I don't mean kid in a derogatory term. He's a young man, but man, is this guy on fire. It's got me more excited for Sunday. I don't think he's winning, but I do think he is going to put on one hell of a fucking show. I think John Cena is going to give him everything he's got. This isn't no John Cena versus Austin Theory at Mania, phoning it in John Cena. This is, I got 10 of these left. And now after tonight, he's got, I think, 9. So he's got 9 of these dates left. He's going to make every single one of them count. And I think Logan is going to bring the best out of John. And I think John is going to bring the absolute best out of Logan. Period, point blank. I'm extremely excited for this. Again, great way to open the show. And the crowd, it just kind of proves no matter where John Cena goes in this retirement tour, he is an unsung, he is a hometown hero everywhere he goes. Even when he's a heel, the man is a hometown hero in places that aren't even his hometown. They're in Lyon, France. Okay. Merci beaucoup. S'il vous plaît. Okay. And as soon as they leave Sunday, au revoir, it's going to be a memorable ass fucking weekend.
Well, for one, I'm going to slightly correct you. They're not leaving after Clash in Paris. Monday is also in Paris. So there's that. But this whole thing, it just full-blown proves that the crowds overseas, believe it or not, are sadly better than here in the States. And that's mainly because of the fact that they rarely go overseas. It's mainly here in the States. So there's that. But this entire segment, I honestly loved. As Blood said, these last couple of promos from Logan are the best that he's ever put out. And that itself is great. It's showing the fact that he is, in fact, improving from what he's done in the past and all of that. The kid. This kid is immortalized twice now. Once during the initial heel run, and now here. This kid will be immortalized for the rest of time. And it's going to be absolutely hilarious when he goes to school the next day and just goes, hey, you just got apologized to by John Cena. Hell yeah. So that's going to be absolutely hilarious. And I am super jealous of that kid. I'm not going to lie.
Dude, the only thing that pissed me off about that whole thing that they did with that kid is like, John Cena is trying to have a moment with you on national TV in front of fucking like 15,000 people in that arena. And that fucking kid would not put his phone down to save his life. Like he wanted to like record everything, and I'm like, bro, just I mean, it's on TV. Like you're gonna see the clips of it.
Soak
Like,
in the
and he's
moment.
like, he has
Like,
his phone like on John Cena's face, like, oh look, say it in here, and I'm just like, bro,
soak in the
but
moment. Your friends at school are gonna believe you, kid. It's gonna be online forever.
yeah, it happened twice. I'm like, bro, put the
It'll get clip farmed for eternity. Like, if that's me, bro, I'll throw my phone across the fucking arena and I'll just stare lovingly into John Cena's old tired eyes, be like, I can see you. Like,
typical fucking, like
Gen's
preteen
ears.
kids. Yeah, they just want to record everything, bro. I'm like, that irked my soul. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I absolutely love this fucking segment that they did with these two, man. I'm pumped for this match for sure, for sure. Um, but yeah, let's move on. Because we were supposed to have a women's tag team title match. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair were scheduled to face Piper Niven and Alba Fire for the women's tag team championships. However, before SmackDown went live in Europe, there was some reports that Piper Niven was pulled from that match. I'm not exactly sure why or what the reason was. And I thought, well, I mean, that shouldn't be a big problem. I mean, they can just put in Chelsea Green instead. That's why, they have a faction of 3 people. They can still have the women's tag team match. No problem, right? But then they turned it into a singles match between Chelsea Green versus Alexa Bliss. And the way that they did this was kind of ridiculous because if they weren't going to have the women's tag team title match, first of all, why not? I mean, do we really believe Alba Fire and Piper Niven were actually going to beat Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss for the titles? No. So why can't they just do it with Chelsea Green? Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair go over anyway, but they didn't. They didn't do that for whatever reason. Instead, they did an injury angle where they attacked Charlotte Flair on her way to the ring before the match. And instead of having the tag team title match, it was Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea Green. So because the heels attacked the babyface, they jeopardize their opportunity for a title shot because they decided to jumpstart them before the match. It's like they just made the heels look really dumb, in my opinion, but whatever. Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea Green. It was a little ridiculous to me seeing how Chelsea Green had to like fucking oversell the shit out of everything just to make Alexa Bliss look good, especially when Alexa Bliss is like fucking 3 feet shorter than Chelsea Green, and Chelsea Green actually looks like a fucking athlete. But whatever, Alexa Bliss won, and that story continues with the tag team titles and the secret Herpes. Thoughts on that, fellas?
I guess we're gonna have to find out tomorrow and or Monday for whatever report we'll get. And I'm hoping it's not Piper Niven suffered some kind of injury. Because look, they're on a tour in Europe, right? The only 2 ways I see her not performing while they're on a tour, because she lives in America right now while she's with the company. So she was on this tour because she was there last week. So as far as I'm concerned, only 1 or 2 things. 1, she actually got hurt off screen, or 2, travel issues. Maybe she never made it to the arena. Maybe there was some kind of issue that happened while they were traveling from their previous city. Or 3, hey, maybe they let her go home and have a visit while she was in Europe as it is. And maybe they were just like, we'll write you off. Don't worry about it. But odds are it's probably injury. And I'm hoping it's not. My thing is, this is a 3-woman stable. Why not invoke the Freebird rule? We already brought that back for the New Day many times. The Freebird rule always applies. If one can't, the other 2 can. So as far as I'm concerned, they could have still had the tag match. Now, the only thing I can assume is that they would have changed it, perhaps because Piper Niven played a big role in the outcome of that match, or Chelsea Green played a big role in the outcome of that tag title match, being on the outside interfering. And since Piper Niven was not there, they had to get rid of that spot because maybe it required Chelsea to be there for the spot to make sense or work. The match itself was fine. It's an opener. It was fine. Nothing special. It is what it is. Chelsea's always entertaining. Alexa's always entertaining. It was entertaining for what we got. That being said, doing an injury angle on Charlotte makes no sense. Why? Charlotte could have still been out there as a manager, and Alba Fire could have still been out there as a manager, which makes me wonder, were they planning on actually changing the titles? Was the actual plan to actually change the titles tonight? And when Piper didn't show or wasn't able to work, they changed their mind and wrote Charlotte off to get rid of the excuse for, well, the Freebird rules right there. Alba and Chelsea can defend or vie for the title. So this tells me I genuinely believe they were going to have those girls drop those titles tonight. But we'll have to wait and see what happens next week.
That was my thought too. I'm like, why not still have the tag team match? But then again, we saw a title change in the main event today anyway. So I'm like, would they do two title changes in one night on a Friday Night SmackDown? I don't know.
The only two title matches, too. There were only two. It was the tag and it was the United States. That's it. That's all it was. So I do completely agree that it probably would have been two different title changes tonight. It absolutely would have. And my initial thought when that whole thing happened, it was like, oh yeah, Piper Niven can't compete. If Sami Zayn mid tag match can go, hey, yes, Jimmy Uso is injured. Sami Uso's good to go. And Sami can go in mid tag match like he did with the Bloodline, Chelsea could have easily subbed it. Quite easily. So that whole thing did frustrate me just a slight bit. So I'm like, what the hell? Why didn't this happen? But suddenly, the realization of they were probably aiming for a title change, specifically with both members of the Secret Service, it's starting to make more sense why they took Charlotte Flair out of this.
Yeah, they could have even done something more, like something more exciting and more entertaining. Like, oh, Piper Niven was not able to make it. Chelsea Green, you have to wrestle. And then Chelsea Green's like, what? No, I'm not ready to wrestle tonight. And then they could even have a handicap match. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair beat the crap out of Alba Fire, and they retain their, something other than, oh yeah,
Michael
now
Cole literally suggested that on commentary mid-match too.
what'd he say? I missed it.
It was something along the lines of this could have been a handicap match or something like that. Like something along the lines of what you just said.
The people would have popped for that, but then again, the crowd in Lyon, France were fucking popping for literally everything. Like everything in this match, it was just Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea Green in a random one-on-one match, and every little punch, the fans were popping for every kick, every fucking everything. It was fucking crazy.
I think she sneezed. Alexa Bliss.
Dude,
Alexa,
they were
Alexa
singing
Bliss.
non-fucking stop the entire fucking 2 hours. It was wild, dude. The next match was another women's match, Michin versus Kiana James, which is the manager or official representative of the Women's United States Champion, Julia, or whatever her title is, Kiana James. And I'm thinking, what the fuck, is this SmackDown or fucking Evolution again? But hey, whatever. This is the first time that we see Kiana James wrestle in the main roster, as far as I'm concerned. And she looks like an athlete. She looks great, and she has her old NXT gimmick where she walks in with the purse that she's used as a weapon in the past. And, they take the super slow walk down to the ring during Kiana James' entrance. The entire way, Wade Barrett and Michael Cole are putting Kiana James over. She's a former NXT Women's Champion. She's a badass. She's a gymnast, and what a great athlete. She looks amazing. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a good way to present her to the new audience that don't watch NXT, that don't know who she is. Okay, cool. She's gonna face Mia Yin, because eventually Mia Chin and Julia are gonna have a match for the Women's United States Championship. Perfect. All right, this makes sense. Okay. The bell rings. Kiana James goes to hit Mi Chin with her purse, her weapon that Kiana James carries. Mi Chin, roll up. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Thank you for coming, Kiana James. That's it. So we got all this. Oh, Kiana James is so impressive. She did all these great things in NXT. And then Mia Chin just fucking this wasn't even a squash match. This wasn't even a match. It was just 3 seconds and you're done. That's it. Thoughts on that, guys?
This could have been an email. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's like, this shit could have been an email. Like, legitimately confused as to what the point of this was. I'm wondering if this was the plan from the start, or whatever happened with Piper not showing up and they had to like last minute film an injury angle with Charlotte. Maybe that ate some time. I don't know. But like, way to go, WWE. Let's put over that young talent from NXT to show them that when you come up to the main roster, we promise we'll treat you well, even though we'll bury you for the first several months of your career. Case in point, Carmelo Hayes, Kiana James, a bunch of other motherfuckers. Like, I'm just like, what was the point of this? Michin has no fanfare herself. So you had someone with no fanfare basically do a quick bury. And to me, this is like burying somebody, in my opinion. Like, you just spent the entire entrance touting how amazing she was for her to get rolled up in 3 seconds. You know who else they did this shit to, that they touted all this crazy shit to?
Dragon Lee?
No, Eva Marie.
Oh.
Eva Marie was touted as this amazing, incredible talent. She's this, she's that. Every match she had, she would get beat in like 30 seconds. That became a gimmick for her. And I'm just sitting here like, you did not. How am I supposed to believe that you have Julia's back in any meaningful way when you just got your ass pinned in fucking 3-4 seconds? Immediate roll up to somebody, by the way, who has less fanfare than Zelina Vega on the SmackDown roster. Like that, right? Like, tell me on what kind of, and by the way, any level of heat that Michin ever has to any of her fucking matches. And you legitimately had Michin. Good for the girl. Good for Michin. Thank God. Hey, I'm glad she got a win. She's got some wins on under her belt. Good for her career. But what, are you really going to go around prancing around excited and saying, hey, I pinned Kiana James on Friday Night SmackDown, just for people to go, who? Because unless you watch fucking NXT regularly, you don't know who the fuck Kiana James is. And even if you watch Friday Night SmackDown, you fucking forget Michin, Kiana James, Zelina Vega, Julia. You forget these girls work on fucking Friday Night SmackDown. They are literally the blink and you'll miss it group. They are literally like edging catering regularly. So, and Julia being the least of them in that situation, but she's in that situation nonetheless. That fucking United States title might as well be a gag gift at this point. So, as far as I'm concerned, you could have left this off the fucking show.
Yeah, and like I'm starting to see a pattern here, and this is just the way that WWE just does things. Obviously, Julia is the main character. I get that. She's a Women's United States Champion. She was a big deal when she came into NXT. But Kiana James can go. And it kind of just sucks that to make the main character that they're trying to get over look better, they make other people look worse. Case in point, JC Mateo with Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
And, the
relegated
list goes on and on.
to background heavies. This is the problem. And I've said this before. Look, you want proof of all the people who can like really, really go that are all stuck in a fucking faction in the background? I was just bitching about Bronson Reed for 2 fucking months. Okay. Piper
Yeah.
Niven, great fucking example. Alba Fire, incredible fucking wrestler. Okay. JC Mateo or Jeff Cobb is an incredible wrestler. Okay. Tama Tonga, though he's on injury, even when he's there, relegated to background, was getting over though. And then you're here with fucking Kiana James, who can go. You want some other fucking examples? Carmelo motherfucking Hayes, a year and 3 months ago, was literally wrestling Cody Rhodes in the main event, for fuck's sake. Right after WrestleMania last year on SmackDown during the draft, he wrestled the main event against Cody fucking Rhodes. Okay.
Yeah. And the other
Like,
thing
what
too
are we
about,
doing with this talent?
and then the other thing too, I'm like, I was kind of happy that this match ended pretty quick, right? I'm like, I don't really care to see this match anyway. But like, does anyone really want to see Michin go for the women's US title versus Julia? I mean,
No,
I don't personally.
no one
And
cares
this
if Julia won. Who the
and
fuck's
this
gonna care if Michin does?
and this match with, if you can even call it a match, did not make me want to see Mia Chin versus Julia even more, like at all. It just
No. If anything, I needed a longer match to see what Kiana could do, and then to see how Michin could overcome this fresh, younger superstars offense, to see how she finds a way to overcome that, cut her off. How good is Kiana? Because if Kiana shows off just how good she is to the main roster audience, Michin overcoming that makes her look even better by comparison, because she's the older veteran who's still kind of the underdog. You got to tell a story here to make us care about Michin, if you want us to care about Michin versus Julia.
And then last week, Kiana James was like, "You want a shot at the champion? You got to go through me first." And then
Say less.
3 seconds. All right.
Literally,
Next.
say less. That wasn't even an ass whooping. Calling it a match is generous. In fact, Michael Cole, or the commentary table glazing her to the ring was longer than she lasted in that match. This shit could have been an email.
Tommy, what did you think?
Yeah, shout out to our boy Soda619. When he was live during this, he put up a poll and put a 5-minute timer, thinking this match would be longer than that, on who would win, Michin or Kiana James. That timer still had 3 goddamn minutes left on it, and he started that at the beginning of the entrances. 3 minutes still left on that damn timer. What the hell? Like, he even went back to it, and we still had time after watching it for the commercial break still. It was that damn short. What the hell? I mean, Michin, go ahead. Go after your first title, girl. Go ahead, do what you want. But as Blood said, don't call this a match. It was not. This was a sentence. That's it. That's literally all this was. This thing was so damn short that you could put the whole thing in clips. Like this entire match in a single clip. That is how short this match was. What the hell?
All right, up next we saw Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre walked over to the announce table. He was looking around, making sure Randy Orton wasn't hiding anywhere, and Drew McIntyre called out the Viper, Randy Orton. He was like, "You know what? Come on out, Randy Orton, so these people can sing your song." And they did. They sang the shit out of Randy Orton's song for a good fucking, felt like 30 minutes of Randy Orton walking as slow as possible to the ring so the fans can just sing to Randy Orton nonstop off the top of their lungs. And finally, when it was time to cut the promo, I was wondering, we didn't talk about this last week because I didn't really think too much of it. Why did fucking Randy Orton attack Drew McIntyre? Last week I wasn't really too sure. I thought that their match at SummerSlam was going to be the end of it. But Drew McIntyre started talking to Randy about Cody Rhodes. Oh, you call Cody Rhodes your friend, the guy that, threatened to punt you, at your match versus him, and that's who you call friend. And Randy Orton just said, look, the reason I attacked you last week is pretty simple. I just think you're a prick. And I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. Okay, I can see that. All right, let's go. And as soon as Randy said that to Drew didn't waste any time, attacked Randy Orton. We had a nice little altercation there, a nice little pull apart. The security guards ran in. Fucking Randy Orton hit poor Hurricane with an RKO. I'm wondering, I was kind of hoping that they would add this match to Clash in Paris this weekend, because there's been reports saying that they may add one more match, but I don't think they did. But it would have been cool to see Randy versus Drew McIntyre this weekend. But I'm really excited for this too. What did you guys think about Drew and Randy here?
Gotta be honest, I kind of wish it had ended at SummerSlam, because I thought that was a nice book note to their feud. It was a mini feud, but the showing at SummerSlam from everybody involved, especially Jelly Roll, was incredibly satisfying and hit all the marks it needed to hit. So, for this to continue to go on, I'm like, okay, well, I need more of a reason for you guys to keep doing this. I thought the right people won the feud, that being Logan and Drew. I thought Drew needed to win a feud because he had lost his previous one to Damian. And Logan, though he gets a lot of offense and a lot of, good shit in his feuds, Logan almost never wins his feuds either. So I thought, hey, this is great. Bookend, we're done in the win column at one of the largest shows of the year, at the biggest SummerSlam of all time. So to have this continue to go forward, I was like, can we get more of a reason? I didn't like the reason. I just think you're a prick isn't a good enough reason for me. Even though I'm a massive Randy Orton fan, he's on my Mount Rushmore, and I love everything Drew has been doing in the last 2 years. It's been incredible. His work since right before War Games 2023 is just chef's kiss. Almost every goddamn thing he touches is gold. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. I need more of than just, oh, you're an ass and I don't like you. But y'all already beat the fucking piss out of each other for the last 2 months. How much more? I think I proved I don't like you, and I think you got the message. So why does this need to continue without anything involving it, like a championship, a tournament? Like, I would like this more if they were in competition for a tournament or a number one contender spot. And I got to be honest, I think that's where this is going. But it hasn't been said yet. I think what this is leading to is, like Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Winner is the number one contender for Cody's World Undisputed Championship. I think that's where this is going. The problem is they're taking a little too long to get there for me, because before I lose interest in this, I would like to have Cody inserted into this somehow, some way. And keep in mind, we've only got 2 title matches this fucking Sunday at Clash in Paris. Okay. We have the World Heavyweight Championship Fatal 4-Way and the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We're in Paris. Why the fuck is that undisputed title not on the line? Why on earth why is nothing going on with that? In fact, was Cody even here tonight?
Nah, I'm pretty sure he's still out filming. And
That's
he just had a baby too.
And Cody just had a second child?
Yeah. Yeah,
Bullshit.
they posted that earlier today, and they talked about it a little bit.
Whoa. How did Cody when did they have a second child? Brandy
apparently
Rose was just on his podcast a couple weeks ago, and she was not anywhere close to pregnant.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Tommy, but apparently Brandy Rose has been pregnant for the past 9 months, because they announced it earlier today that they had a second baby.
That can't be true.
Sure, that was an old picture, because as he said, there's been current video of Brandy, not even close.
Yeah, like that. Filming, I understand, but okay, look, you're filming, I get it. So are we just in a holding pattern for you to get back to, hey, remember I'm the champion? and you guys want my title? Because right now, everybody in the main roster or that's in the main event of SmackDown is fighting over nothing. The only people fighting over anything is the U.S. title.
And I know for sure it was Cody that specifically because I said to myself, wait a minute. So they did a whole ass celebration for Naomi and Jimmy Uso, but Cody fucking Rhodes and Brandy got a fucking Instagram post and like a 20-second picture on TV, and that was it.
Hold on. You might be right. I just asked, did Cody and Brandy Rhodes welcome a second baby? Yes, they welcomed a second baby, Leilani Ella Runnels, on August 29th, 2025. How is that possible?
I had no idea she was pregnant. They kept that shit under wraps.
She was literally just on Cody Rhodes' podcast less than 2 months ago. She was sitting in the chair in a red suit, commenting on her figure with Cody. She was not pregnant.
It must have been an old clip then, or pre-recorded or something, because she definitely had a baby. Unless Cody Rhodes is having fucking, babies.
That's fucking crazy. This looks
with other women that we don't know about.
Apparently it's true. That's fucking news to me. Holy shit. Well, mazel tov.
Yeah, or maybe they got a fucking, what is it called?
Adopted?
Or a surrogate or something? I don't know. Or maybe Cody Rhodes is a little pimp. I don't know.
Well, he pimped his way into number 2, it looks like. So
yeah,
that's a surprise.
Okay. But yeah, no, I'm kind of waiting for Cody Rhodes to come back too. But like, knowing Triple H, when Cody Rhodes comes back, don't be surprised if they're like, all right, Undisputed Championship triple threat match: Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes. Like, fuck.
I would love that shit. Just makes you wonder though, where are they going to put that? Because War Games is coming up. I would imagine they're not involved in War Games at all. None of those 3 are going to be involved in War Games, because pretty clear the War Games for the men is looking somewhere like the Vision and whomever they get to back them up versus Roman and Jay and LA Knight and CM Punk. And there's going to be a 5th on each side. So 2 on Seth's side, an extra addition on Roman's side. But that looks like the War Games. I would imagine maybe they do it at Survivor Series.
Hopefully they put it up their butt. That's where they should put that. Fucking too many.
Yeah, but come on, you telling me you wouldn't want to see a triple threat of Randy, Drew, and Cody for the World Championship, Undisputed Championship at Survivor Series would be dope.
Just this out there. If Cody can come back soon enough within the next couple of weeks, WrestlePalooza is a thing.
Yeah, but WrestlePalooza would be a shit place for him to. The entire point of that show is going to be marketed on Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. I mean, you really don't even need a title match on that show, to be honest.
Tommy, what did you think about this whole thing with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton?
Security guards need to stop falling for shit when it comes to Randy Orton. What the hell? That one guy that Randy just leans up against, and this guard is just like, okay, yeah, you're cool, you're out of breath, you're done. You really fell for that shit? Come on, it's Randy fucking Orton. He does not get out of breath that easily from 4 RKOs back to back. That just doesn't happen. So the fact that that guy fell for that is like absolutely hilarious to me. But I would not be surprised if WrestlePalooza is where we're going to get these two head to head. Because with how close WrestlePalooza is, they need to start forming those matches and that card somehow. And why not just hint at one right here?
We had a number 1 contenders match for the tag team titles, and the Street Profits faced Oz, him, The Miz, and Carmelo Hayes. And I was kind of rooting for Carmelo Hayes and The Miz to win this one. I mean, they've won their last couple tag team matches. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm over the Street Profits. So I'm like, yeah, give Carmelo Hayes a title shot, even if it is tag team title shot. Um, Unfortunately, the Street Profits won this one because the Wyatt Six came out to distract the Miz, who in this case, they're the heels. So the White Six, who are, I don't even know if they're heels or babyface, but they're the champions. They came out to distract the heel tag team, so the babyface tag team, to get the win, which made no sense to me. But the Street Profits are going to be facing the Wyatt Six for the tag team championships next. Um, yeah, how do you guys feel about that one?
This whole thing is confusing and grating on my patience. You have the Street Profits, whom I'm a big fan of, but they are baby faces that act like heels. Then you have Us Him, even though I thought they had a totally different tag name, in that of the Miz and Carmelo Hayes, who are heels getting cheered like baby faces. Then you have the Wyatt Six, who were supposed to be baby faces, that are coming out here and distracting teams like heels and attacking everybody. Who is who? What side is everybody on? Like, it's confusing as fuck. And on top of that, though I love the Street Profits, they're my favorite group involved in any of this. I think that the wrong guys won, man. I think it should have gone on the Miz and Carmelo Hayes. They got some energy behind them, some fanfare behind them, a little bit of heat behind them. You got to capitalize on that, because last week was a perfect example. They were getting cheered out the building. They were getting, loved. They loved this. Even if you bring it back to the U.S. crowd and the U.S. crowd don't like it, the Europe crowd loves it. Well, you're in Europe right now. Get the pop on them while you can. Get the fanfare on them while you can, especially from a crowd that's going that crazy for Carmelo Hayes. You got to. The whole purpose of this is that we're trying to get him over. So as far as it's concerned, I genuinely think that, though I don't expect Carmelo Hayes and The Miz to beat the Wyatts, even if they had gotten a number one contendership win here, I would have rather have seen them in this so we had a fresh team involved in this, because it has been getting extremely annoying watching the Wyatt Six, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and fucking DIY and the goddamn Street Profits go round and round and round in circles for checks notes almost fucking 7 months now. It's wearing on my patience. Where is that fucking draft? Because at this point, I don't think they're even doing a draft. I think they just decided to start quietly soft brand switching or soft drafting talent at random. Like, oh, Sammy's on SmackDown now. Well, that's great. That evens it out because we just gave LA Knight to Raw. We did? Yeah, we did. You didn't notice we started doing it like 2 months ago? Oh, okay. Huh. Like, and throughout the year, all of a sudden Drew's on SmackDown when he was on Raw the entirety of the year. Oh, Damian Priest got moved to fucking SmackDown. Like, they just keep, like, dude, do shit that makes sense and then tell us why you're doing it. Don't just do shit to do shit. That's all I'm saying. All of this feels like they're doing shit just to do shit. And I'm sick of the tag division on SmackDown too.
Yeah, the first thing that popped into my head is actually what happened before the match. There was a backstage interview with the Street Profits, and Howdy interrupted, except he wasn't dressed as Howdy. He was dressed as just regular old Bo Dallas. So that confused me a little bit. But we also did get our confirmation that all of this has, in fact, been a test of what exactly we thought it would be, which is to see which tag teams are as close as blood, as family, as the Wyatt Six are. So he came to talk to the Street Profits to see if they are as close as they say they are. I do agree with Blood, though, with the whole these 5 teams over and over and over and over again. Pick something different, please. I get it This year, we're not getting a draft, unfortunately. But guess what? SmackDown is desperate for one to mix things up a bit. Holy shit, it's getting repetitive constantly on SmackDown. Raw is just fine when it comes to originality and all of that. It's fine over there. SmackDown, on the other hand, it's all repetitive. Every damn week, for most things, especially with the tag division, is the same damn thing over and over and over again.
It's literally been Groundhog Day on SmackDown for like 5 months. Like I'm Bill Murray, and this is Groundhog Day. For the youngins, it's a movie. The guy relives the same day over and over and over again until he learns a lesson, and then finally he breaks the fucking loop. I'm waiting for the loop to break, and I feel like the loop breaker is supposed to be a draft.
Yeah, I didn't really understand why they decided to go with the Street Profits either. I mean, they could have had a pretty interesting tag team match with all the history that the White Six have with the Miz. The Miz is still, afraid of White Six after they quote unquote kidnapped the Miz, and that could have told a great story in the ring, I think. But they went with the Street Profits, and I'm just like, are they just gonna give Carmelo Hayes that LA Knight treatment now, where they're just gonna keep holding down Carmelo Hayes as much as possible until to try to get the crowd behind him, and then I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm not sure when that match is gonna take place. But let's go on to the main event. We got a new United States champion, y'all. Yes, you heard that right. If you haven't seen the show yet, spoiler alert, Sami Zayn defeated Solo Sikoa and it is a new United States champion. Thanks to everyone and their mamas got involved in this match. The MFTs got involved, which means Jimmy Uso got involved, which means Jacob Fatu got involved. So Jimmy and Jacob cleared the way of all the heels to leave Solo Sikoa solo dolo in the middle of the ring versus Sami Zayn. Haluva kick. And we got a new champion, y'all. I gotta say, I don't know how I feel about this because other than being a huge fan of Solo Sikoa, I gotta admit his title reign hasn't been very impressive. So I'm pretty glad that we have a new champion, someone that like Sami Zayn, the people love, and it's his first time winning the U.S. champion, and he's been needing some gold, and he left to SmackDown for a fresh start, and he's feeling like this new guy. So good on Sami. However, this is Sami Zayn's third week on SmackDown. He's had a match or two on SmackDown, maybe just one, and I don't even think it was a singles match. And he got a shot at the United States champion, and now he's champion. So what do you guys think about all this?
I think that Solo Sikoa winning that title off of Jacob was a massive waste of time. I think all of this goes completely back to the fact that they never should have taken it off of LA Knight to give it to Shinsuke Nakamura at the beginning of the year to begin with, because since then they've hot potatoed that thing. It went from LA Knight to Shinsuke, back to LA Knight to Jacob Fatu to Solo Sikoa to now Sami Zayn, because they don't know what to do. And I genuinely at this point believe the only reason they moved Sami to SmackDown was to get the title off of Solo onto Sami, because they want to tell the story about Sami being a champion, but because there's too much going on in the world title scene, it's too crowded. Even though he was in the story they're fucking telling, he's the one that was the first victim of the fucking vision. I digress. But here I am just, remembering continuity and shit like a fucking moron, apparently. They're like, well, we can't make him a world champion, so we'll make him another mid-card champion because, remember when he was the Intercontinental champion? Remember that? Remember that, guys? Remember when he was constantly feuding with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker? Remember that? Remember that? Oh, you don't remember that? Well, you're not going to remember this run with this title either. But hey, at least we made him a champion. He's a champion, guys. And it's just like, okay, well, all you did was ruin Solo, because Solo Sikoa a year and a half ago was not the motherfucker to trifle with. Remember that? Remember when John Cena was I want you to understand the headcanon here. Solo Sikoa brutalized and beat John Cena with no effort. Remember that. Now remember, Solo Sikoa was also someone Roman Reigns was afraid of. Remember that. Remember that. Now remember the fact that Solo was the enforcer of the bloodline and that none of his brothers wanted to get on his bad side, least of all Sami Zayn, who was terrified of being on the wrong end of Solo. The trial of Sami Zayn, remember that? Now, cut to Solo lost every fucking match since he became champion that was not a title match until tonight where he lost a title match. If you're trying to bury Solo, message received. I'm just trying to figure out why. Make that make motherfucking sense. Because Solo Sikoa, again, you had him decimate John Cena, which should have skyrocketed his fucking career in stock. You did nothing with it because after he beat John Cena, the man went on a losing streak of losing streaks. He could not buy a win. He was on a losing streak while he was still in the bloodline. And it's just like in the first bloodline, by the way, before Roman ever lost the title, they put him on a losing streak after he beat John Cena. So for me, I just don't understand who is writing this and why do they have a fucking problem with Solo Sikoa's character? Because you had someone who could have been a great monster heel with all this mystique around it, and you have turned him into a fucking Santino Marella gimmick. And I don't understand the 180 here at all. And Solo's doing it to the best of his ability. He's out there shucking and jiving. He's entertaining as fuck with it. Don't get me wrong. He's running with it. But fuck, man, I feel like y'all cut his legs out from under him.
Yeah, I look at this. I'm like, why the hell do y'all hate Solo? Like, I get it. He's Solo. But why do you hate him as much as you do? So this shit doesn't make sense for everything Blood just said. But I look at this, I'm like, congrats, Sammy. You did it. But my issue is the whole Vision storyline. For the FNAF fans, you will get exactly what I'm saying here. Sami Zayn is over here just like, I was the first. I have seen everything. Why the hell did you take him away from that damn storyline? No damn sense whatsoever. You flat out said that you would give this man a title shot if he dealt with JC Mateo. Or, wait, no, it wasn't JC Mateo. It was Rusev. The point still stands. You said that you would give him a title shot, and then the moment y'all announced this fatal four-way, oh, there goes Sammy. He's disappeared from this story. No. Why? No damn sense. I'm glad that Sammy has the United States title now, but he still should have been in the world title picture and stayed on Raw with that storyline because, as we've already said, he was literally the first. The Vision targeted him first. He should still be in that storyline.
Yeah, to be honest, it makes me feel like they made Sammy look like he ran away from a fight. That's what it feels like to me. Because he could have been the fifth man if this goes to War Games. He could have been the fifth on Roman's team. It made sense. It was right there. They attacked him for weeks. And here's the biggest thing that everybody's forgetting. The biggest plot thread, in fact, the biggest missed opportunity out of moving Sammy to SmackDown. Remember the fucking heel turn they kept teasing? That's gone. What a story thread that would have been to have had Sammy turn heel on Jey Uso and all of them. Just like he basically fucking did at War Games a couple years ago when he fucking low-blowed Kevin so Roman could get the win. You could have done the opposite of that here, and it would have been just as fucking effective if we had gone to War Games and you had turned him fucking heel and kept him in this story. Imagine the fucking reaction No one would have, people would have had a feeling it was coming. No one would have wanted to believe it. Imagine that character story going forward.
Yeah, and then there's just so they've been building up Sami Zayn for quite a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
On Monday Night Raw, he's been winning matches. He won the feud with Karrion Kross. He's like Sami Zayn. I can't remember the last time Sami Zayn got pinned or lost a match, but that was on Monday Night Raw. Then they bring him over to SmackDown, and it's like, well, we've been putting him over in the storylines on Monday Night Raw, but we're going to give him the payoff on SmackDown. And then it's like, well, on SmackDown, when Jacob Fatu was a champion, he was having confrontations with like Damian Priest. Damian Priest isn't going for the U.S. title anymore. That's weird. What about Carmelo Hayes? What about Andrade? What about all these mid-card guys that were going for the U.S. title? Instead of, doing something with those guys, they just bring Sami Zayn over from Raw and they're like, okay, put it on Sami.
Yeah, Jacob just apparently gave up on his get back. I love that. Jacob's just like, nah, I'll help you win it. It's like,
yeah.
It's like, weren't you in like a blood feud with this dude for 2 months? Like,
yeah,
what the hell are we doing here? And the egregious part is, I'm glad Sammy's the champion. I love it. I'm glad it's on someone who's going to give us amazing matches and moments. Not that Solo wasn't giving us amazing moments, but his matches were eh. But the thing is, with Sammy, dude, all the goodwill in the division wins that he was doing those in Raw's division.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, not in their mid.
Uh-oh, looks like we lagged out. What was that about?
I don't know. I got disconnected all at the same time.
Yeah, so did I.
But to finish my point, all the goodwill that Sammy had built up in the divisions he was winning in were in Raw's divisions and not in the mid-card divisions. In their main event divisions, he was working in the world title division. That's what he was vying for. You can't just come over to SmackDown, be here 3 weeks, and automatically get a title shot. How the fuck does that work? And I'm not saying Sammy doesn't deserve it. He does, but he deserved it on Raw. All these other dudes have spent the entire year in this fucking division for that championship. Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Damian fucking Priest, Carmelo freaking Hayes, JC Mateo, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that fucking guy.
Are you kidding me? Jimmy Uso's been working his ass off in this division the entire year.
People were saying it was going to be Jimmy the one to take the belt off Solo.
Bro, now you're telling me Sammy's going to come in after 3 weeks and he just takes the spot? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Talk about hot shot booking.
We'll see what happens with Sami Zayn now that he's champion. Hopefully things get interesting, man. I don't know what's going to happen. It's too soon to tell, but for now, that was a SmackDown review with the Snug Wrestling Podcast. We'll be back again this weekend for Clash in Paris to go over all the shit that went down or that is going to go down this weekend. And we also did predictions the other day. Those are out now. Check it out. We got LA Knight winning the Fatal 4-Way, y'all, just to give you guys a quick tease of how crazy our predictions got. No, he's winning. He's winning. Go check out the predictions, you guys. Mr. Blood, take us home.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Snug Wrestling. Thanks for kicking it with us. We appreciate every single one of you for tuning in, as always. Don't forget, we're live every Monday and Friday night right after Raw and SmackDown go off the air on YouTube, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, and Facebook for live post-show reviews, and as a bonus for reaction content during weekly WWE broadcasts on all of our socials. Then hang out with us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific on TikTok Live, where myself, Mr. Blood, and the leader of Snug Wrestling, that handsome Mexican over there, Edgar, do our weekly one-on-ones where we dive into random wrestling topics and answer your questions live. So follow Snug Wrestling on all social media platforms, as well as on Apple and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And mark your calendars, because August 31st is Clash in Paris this upcoming Sunday, and we will be going live for our post Clash in Paris show review. So make sure you are prepared for that. And let's see what happens this Sunday. But until next time, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. And as always, one time for the one time. That was 4 letters, 1 word.
Word.
Yeet.